Hi guys, happy weekend. Happy weekend. It's Saturday today, so happy Saturn's Day. So I'm here to do the weekend rune reading. Yep. Okay. First of all, before I pull any runes, tomorrow is the new moon in Leo. The biggest thing that I wrote down a couple of things about the new moon because I was going to do new moon readings, which I may still do, but there's a couple of more important aspects that are happening on and right around this new moon that I am pretty sure that most of you will probably feel in some way. The main big one is that the new moon, the sun and the moon conjunct in Leo, are squaring Uranus in Taurus. And at the same time, they're in a loose opposition to Saturn. So there's this what they call a T-square configuration in the sky. It's a giant right angle triangle, really. So we just experienced a major T-square, and that was with Mars and Venus opposite Saturn square Uranus. So there's this very fiery, kind of disruptive, high tension aspect playing out. And around that time, we saw violence erupt in the world. We really did. South Africa. There have been major protests happening in France, Germany, lots of different places around the world. So that is still playing out, but now we have the sun and the moon re-triggering that T-square configuration. The sun and the moon, the new moon rather, adds this this renewal and this aspect of a new seed being planted, a new cycle starting, which you will see potentially manifest by the time the full moon in Leo comes around. So when the sun is in Aquarius, full moon in Leo, that's the culmination. Anyway, basically, just expect more drama. Expect more drama. Expect more feelings of extreme desire for liberation come up. There might be something that's rather shocking, actually, to you that triggers this desire or need to escape or break free or what have you. And it'll probably, well, I don't think it'll be totally blindsiding because we've had these fixed squares occurring for most of the year. So there's an area of life that's been continuously, like, it's come up already several times, and it's kind of like this is a boiling over point, So anyway, it'll be an interesting new moon. Ultimately, whenever something really destructive happens, okay, on one hand, I don't ever want to dismiss, minimize, or deny evil. Evil is evil, period, point blank. I'm not here to tell you to forgive evil or to dismiss it or to minimize it. Evil is evil, period. However, it's often in times of crisis or when something awful happens that we gain the internal locus, or the internal drive to make serious changes and transformations in our life. So yes, evil is awful. I will never tell anybody to forgive evil or dismiss it or even try to really downplay it. But when something awful happens, that's often when we take charge and make changes. So the point of these squares is to encourage you to make the changes that you already know need to happen on an internal kind of level. So making those changes sooner rather than later will be beneficial. And this weekend you'll see what it is. You'll know. You'll know. Okay, friends. Alrighty. So the first rune that came out is Evaz, number 13. This is the connection or the breaking point or the bridge, really, between upper and lower, inner, outer, left and right. It's the vertical column. It's the spine. This represents the internal fires. Some traditions, and I have called it in the past, the Kundalini energy. This is only ignited with any consistency through discipline, different practices. One of the biggest messages with Evaz is to attempt to, well, actually, this is a common theme for a lot of runes, really, but attempt to harmonize and organize inside and outside. This is the rune where the magical is in the mundane, and the mundane can be made magical. So that's pretty vague, but second rune is Berkana, or Berkano, and it was actually murky. And the last rune is Othala. So this is the energy of becoming, of blossoming, of this is the force that breaks the seed open and allows the sprout to start sprouting. And did you know, I just learned this not very long ago, but seeds, they have a certain amount of potential energy in them, right? Within the seed is the genetic pattern for it to become the tree or the fruit bearing bush or whatever the fuck that seed is from, right? It has a certain amount of energy in that state. And then when the seed sprouts, the available bioenergy increases significantly. It goes boom, and then you have that much more energy available to you when you consume a sprouted seed versus a non-sprouted seed. That is literally Berkana. That's what that energy is Berkana. Berkana also represents safe enclosed spaces like a womb, right? Or in relation to the earth, cave, right? Or wherever you put that seed into the soil, right? However, murky, this could be pointing to growth that is stunted, growth that is stopped in some way. It could also be getting lost in beauty and detail and losing the big picture. It can also mean being deceived. Berkana is the energy of the mother. It's the mother. It's the goddess. the earth goddess. So in a positive sense, if this were a bright rune, if it came out right side up, then it would be, you're growing, you're blossoming, you're able to show yourself, right? Uh, you're protected. Murky, it's talking about there's a lack of protection or a deception there. Think of a healthy mother, a healthy mom, versus an unhealthy mom. Healthy mom, you're nurtured, you're protected, you are allowed to make mistakes and not undermined in any way, right? It's a healthy connection. An unhealthy mom can be smothering, over mothering, helicopter parent type stuff, or undermining, deceptive, cruel, violent. So that's how I need to look at this rune. So there's an element of danger or lack of safety here. So that's interesting. So it's like there's this spark or this maybe insight or ability or moment where things seem to connect, and it's like you can oh, I almost use a new age term I really fucking hate. Yeah, it's like there is this connection to this internal other level or insight or awareness or something got sparked. But there's something either in your environment or even within yourself that wants to stifle that down and smother it out, literally smothering. It's almost like you cannot hide in the cave any longer. You have to come out and face the danger. And then Othala 24. This is the rune of inheritance, the estate. So physical and or spiritual inheritance. It's the homeland. It is the protected enclosure, the home, with open gates, allowing trade and commerce and productive exchange with the outside world. So this is the future energy, right? Right now, we're dealing with this perverted or inverted Berkana energy. And it's almost like once we are able to bring ourselves forth and once we're able to bring like our true selves forth and release that smothering energy and allow that stagnant energy that's supposed to be sprouting up to actually come out, then we're able to interact effectively with other people, be it in any kind of relationship setting, really, whether it's like business or friendships, where it's an exchange of ideas and energy, right? It's a productive exchange. The other thing about Othala is it's talking about the need for tradition, culture, and consistent ways of doing things, so that an order can be maintained. If this is perverted, it turns into totalitarianism, right? It turns into power over structures. While I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about when it's in its positive form and you have personal power. Personal power versus power over, two very different things. A lot of people, a lot of people operate from power over. That would be the inverted Berkana, right? The cruel, unhealthy mother. That's power over versus personal power. Personal power. You approach situations and other people as equals, actually trying to have a productive exchange rather than trying to dominate or make somebody else wrong. So we see a lot of that in society right now, where unless you subscribe to this one particular consensus reality and belief structure and all of that, you are shunned, othered, you're not part of the group, you don't belong, you don't get to be, you can't sit with us. That's inverted Othala energy. That's power over. Whereas if you find people that will actually hear your side and ask questions and seek understanding and try to come to agreements and honor your opinion or celebrate your success or just allow you to do your own thing and have your own bodily autonomy. That's healthy Othala energy. That's personal power. So that's a theme. That's a theme in this reading for sure. And I feel like this is probably really referring to an internal process that needs to happen, where there's this interest, this spark that's gone off, and we want to keep those fires burning, but there's something maybe internally, maybe externally, that's holding us back, that's making us smother that fire down, that's making us maybe afraid of it. Yeah, could be fear. And that state of healthy relation with other people cannot be achieved until those wounds dealing with the mother are actually dealt with, and not on an intellectual level, but on a physical, somatic, body-based level. So if that resonated with you, if that strikes true for you, and that's something that you haven't worked on at all, then I would suggest finding somebody that you can talk to that can help you through that process. And honestly, any kind of shadow work, psychological work, childhood wounding, healing, anything like that, it's not a once and done kind of thing. It's not a single, okay, I sat down with a therapist for a couple of months, I'm good now. No. This is an ongoing process. It's not something that you do just once. It's a daily, weekly, monthly, consistent thing that needs to be worked through. And when when we've worked on that relationship within ourselves, and when we have begun to and worked through a significant amount, or at least some, of those childhood woundings, especially a relationship with our mother or a father or both, that's when our relationship with outside authority begins to change. And you'll see a lot of people that really struggle with wounds from their father or wounds from their mother, uh, that are trying to fill that void, really latch on to government figures, for example, because they need to be taken care of. They want to go back to that infantile state and get those needs met. Um, and that that's when you get totalitarianism. Yay! So that's why this is really important. It's really important to work on this. It's really important to work on this within yourself. And ultimately, there's only so much work that you can do by yourself. This is something that needs to be worked on in conjunction with other people, which I think is one of the important things of Othala, is its productive interaction with other people. So once you go to actually like make new friends or go into a relationship with somebody or whatever the case is, go to a new job, anytime you're creating new relationships, triggers are going to come up, things are going to come up that you need to work on. And that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. So yeah, that's your rune reading for the weekend. Nice. Okay, enjoy the new moon. Whatever gets triggered, you know, try to work on it from a place of personal power rather than power over. And yeah, maybe ask yourself, is there anything from my childhood that I'm still angry about or I'm still upset about? And that's okay. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be upset. This will be an opportunity to feel into that and work through it. So, okay. Peace.